Hello everyone, and welcome to our presentation for our app, Metro Mingle. We're really excited to show you what we've developed and how proud we are of what we've created together. We hope you love the app just as much as we do. So firstly, let me introduce you to our amazing team of developers. First up, Justin, that's me. I was a project lead for this project with a focus on testing. Next up, we have Pablo, who worked as a full stack developer. He designed the back end, worked on functionality for the front end, as well as some testing. Then we have Anoop, Sadiq, Olga, and Andrew, who each played a pivotal role in our front end development. And the reason we have such a large portion of our group on front end will become clear very soon. So, what is Metro Mingle? Have you ever been at a party or event and wondered where everyone is? Everyone's late, you're sending texts, no one's replying, and you're starting to get frustrated. You're thinking, should I block them or should I give them 5 more minutes? Well, we're going to eliminate that problem. Your friends will be able to see your journey to the event and if there's any delays on any of the legs within your journey. For example, if there's a delay on the Jubilee line and you're stuck in a tunnel and can't let your friends know, that's no problem anymore because the app will let them know that the Jubilee line has a delay. So you're likely stuck in a tube tunnel. So no more frustration, no more arguments. I'll pass you over now to Olga, who will talk you through how we structured our planning.
Thank you, Justin. Following the best practices of Agile, we began by creating user stories and user personas and mapping the user flow diagram. Then we designed the architecture of our application. Upon realizing that we were venturing into the kingdom of React Native, a completely new concept to our team, we made a strategic decision to allocate the majority of our team to the front-end development. This choice was crucial for the successful delivery of our MVP. To streamline our workflow, we utilized Trello for creating tickets, ensuring that each team member was aware of their assigned tasks. We used Slack for morning stand-ups and evening retro sessions, as well as to foster collaborative pair programming when needed. Maintaining clear communication between the team remained our highest priority throughout the planning and delivery process. While investigating stakeholders within our app, we prioritize developers to make sure they share our vision of the app. Our main goal is to keep users satisfied. It's very important that they feel comfortable using our app, knowing that their data is secure. We could see this app being used for businesses and schools as a safety feature in the future, so we will be monitoring them for now with the idea of exploring that route. And we will keep informed transport for London for potential collaboration, expanding our app's reach to a wider audience. Now I will hand you over to Andrew, who will talk you through the structure of our application.
Thank you, Olga. When designing the backend, we have decided to create a very simple database for our application, as showcased here with the entity relationship diagram. The database will store the user's information for authentication, such as their user's tokens when the user logs in or registers, but also it will be used to track each user's planned route and their estimated time of arrival based on their supplied location. And we will also use the user's ID to determine the events the user is a part of within the application. We opted for a lightweight database because the TFL API handles most of the heavy lifting for this app. The API offers various options for accessing data, from generating routes to managing the user's travel preferences, all of which can be done within this app. For the lo-fi wireframes, we aim to create a rough outline of the app's appearance. In these wireframes, you can see the login and event pages with our initial thoughts on their design. When comparing these to the hi-fi wireframes, the planned application looks become clearer. We took the lo-fi frames and added details about how we wanted each component on the page to render. And to see how our hi-fi designs compare to our application's visual representation, here is our demo presented by Pablo.
Thank you very much, Andrew. I hope you're all excited to see our app, Metro Mingle, up and running. So I will leave you now with the demo, and I hope you all enjoy it. People in the loop about your journey details. New users are allowed to register into our platform In our case, we already have an account, so we are gonna dive directly into our events. I'm logging in with Adam. I'm gonna quickly type my password. Let me check that that is actually correct. It is, so we can just log in. We will be prompted in the homepage. With our dashboard here, we can explore what events we have organized for today, and we have several features that we will discuss further in the demo. Now we are just gonna create an event. We will need to pass the location of the event that will allow the users and the attendees to set the route to that event. We also need to pass a quick description. In this case, it's gonna be drinks at the pub, and this is part of La Fosse reunion. We'll also need to set date for our event. In this case, it's happening today, and it will happen roughly at 6 p.m. And when we submit, that event has been created. Now we can see that it will appear in our events page. When we click on it, it comes the social part. We are able to invite our friends. We just need to pass the username. In this case, Pablo is going to receive an invite. The way users interact with the invite is through the dashboard in the homepage. There we have a little carousel that will display all the invites that we have received, and we'll be able to accept them. Another way we can accept invites and join events is by passing a share code. In this case, Sarah has sent me a share code for the Lord of the Ring Marathon that is organizing this afternoon. So I'm just going to join it because I'm not going to miss that. And when I join the event using the share code, it will also appear in my events page. Here we have the Lord of the Ring Marathon. And I will be able to now share with the attendees with my journey. So I will pass my starting postcode. The destination postcode is by default set up to the location of the event. I'm able to set my journey preferences, such as this interchange, also different modes of transport available within TfL. I can also set my walking speed to get an accurate calculation of my timing, and also by taxi only if I wish. When I submit, I will be prompted with 3 optional routes from TfL. I will inform you of critical delays, for example, in the Northern Line, minor delays in the overground. So I think I'm gonna go with the last route. It doesn't have any delays. So as soon as I select my route, that route is being shared with all the attendees. They can quickly access it. I can also inform the rest of the people attending the event that I have left, and my status will update. And I can also have a peek into other people's journey. I can see that Sarah is about to climb out from National Rail, and Justin hasn't even left, so he will probably be late. And finally, we have the user profile, in which users will be allowed to edit their preference, a little FAQ, and we can also log out. And now I will pass it to Anoop that will talk about the technologies.
Thanks, Pablo. For the technologies on the front end, we use JavaScript and React Native with Expo as a hosting service. For version control, we use Git and GitHub. And for the backend, we use PostgreSQL to set up our database. We also use Python with Flask to set up our models, controllers, and routes. For testing, we use PyTest for the backend and React Native testing library for the front end. A significant piece of code is in the backend. When working with the TfL API, we want to get the live journeys based on the network status. To do this, we use optional parameters such as journey preferences, walking speed, and accessibility preferences. The TfL API only accepts parameters as part of the request URL. So in order to handle this, we generate pair values in order to send to the request URL. The response from the API's journey needs to be compiled and filtered to be able to be sent to the front end for image rendering, which takes us on to our next piece of code on the front end. Here are 2 of the components of the SVG, which is able to render a diagram of the journey based on the response from our backend. The line for each journey leg is generated and colored using a dictionary created using the TfL color palette. The live tracking of each user is generated based on an estimate using the current departure and arrival timings, along with the current time. Testing is an essential requirement of any product, so we wanted to focus on our testing. We tested our backend extensively and covered all of our main functionality. The front-end testing was tested by using individual tests and targeting specific components to combat some challenges we ran into when working with React Native. We achieved an overall coverage of 80%, and I will now pass it on to Sadiq, who will talk about our challenges.
Thank you, Anib. As a team, we decided to use React Native, which we hadn't used before. To address this problem, we read documentation and watched how-to videos to grasp the basic concepts so we could start building our application. Tests on our app presented challenges, mainly because we used Expo as a hosting platform, which made it tricky to test. We kept running into errors, so we tested each component independently. We also had to make sure our app looked consistent on every phone. Using the React Native tool, Dimensions helped us adjust our app's look to be constant regardless of the device. After all our hard work, we achieved what we were aiming for, a functioning app that can be used on our phones, despite the challenges. Despite the challenges, we have learned a lot throughout this process, including how to solve problems independently, improve our coding skills, and work efficiently as a team and communicate effectively. We're excited about what we have done and how far we have come. Looking ahead, we have big dreams for our app. We see it not only helping individuals, but also schools and businesses. We're thinking about integrating a chatbot in our app that can assist users in planning their journeys. By utilizing the weather API, the chatbot will be able to recommend routes based on the current weather conditions. Additionally, we want to enable users to purchase tickets from within the app, eliminating the need to switch to another platform. Our objective is to make it more convenient and accessible for users to plan their journeys. Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoyed our app as much as we enjoyed creating it. Please feel free to ask any questions.